Hello there, dear dreamer. I'm your storyteller tonight. I'm here to help you drift gently into the most peaceful sleep. But before we begin, tell me, which country are you in right now? And what time is it there? No matter the hour, this is your time to rest, to breathe deeply, and to feel safe. Outside, the rain is falling, softly, rhythmically, like a lullaby whispered by the clouds. As you listen to its soothing patter, let your eyes grow heavy and your thoughts melt away. You're not alone. You're with me, and together we're about to step into a story of love, memory, and peaceful dreams. The window by the sea. Amara sat by her favorite window, where raindrops danced down the glass like tiny silver rivers. Outside, the ocean stretched endlessly, gray and peaceful beneath the overcast sky. The soft crash of waves blended with the patter of rain, creating a melody only hearts in quiet longing could understand. Every evening, she watched the sea and remembered him, Elias, the boy who had once sat by this same window, fingers entwined with hers, dreaming of forever. The cottage, now quiet, held echoes of their laughter, their whispered promises, and that one final goodbye before life took them in different directions. Tonight, the rain felt different, more comforting than lonely. As Amara closed her eyes, a warm memory surfaced. A shared umbrella, damp shoulders brushing, and the way Elias had looked at her, like the world had paused. She wondered if, somewhere, he still remembered too. Letters in the attic. The rain hadn't stopped, and Amara didn't want it to. It was the perfect kind of weather for exploring the attic, a place she hadn't visited in years. Dust clung to old trunks and fading memories, but something called to her. Beneath a blanket of forgotten books and photo albums, she found a small wooden box. Inside, tied with blue ribbon, were letters. Her heart paused. Elias's handwriting curled across the envelopes, each one addressed to her. She opened the first. Dearest Amara, if you're reading this, then perhaps the rain has brought you here. I never stopped writing to you, even after I left. Even when silence grew between us, I kept sending my heart across the waves. Tears blurred her vision as she read letter after letter, each filled with love, regret, and the hope that one day they'd find each other again. The storm and the stranger. The next morning, the storm grew stronger. Amara, wrapped in a woolen shawl, stepped outside to feel the rain on her skin. As she walked toward the beach, she saw a figure in the distance, tall, familiar, standing still against the wind. Her heart raced. Elias. He turned slowly. Time had aged him gently, but those eyes, soft and deep like the sea, were the same. He smiled a little sadly. I came back, he said, his voice quiet beneath the rain. I hoped you'd still be here. They stood in silence for a moment, letting the sound of the storm speak for them. Then, without another word, she stepped forward and embraced him. He was real. He was here. Fireside whispers. Back in the cottage, the fireplace crackled gently. They sat together, warm and dry, with tea steaming between their hands. Words flowed like soft rivers of where they'd been, who they'd become, and all the moments they'd missed. I wrote to you, she said, placing his letters on the table. I hoped you would. discovered the rhythm of each other, the comfort of shared silences, the joy of remembered laughter, and the gentle peace of being understood. The dream tree. That night, Amara led Elias to the hill behind the cottage where the old willow stood. It had always been their place of wishes. They sat beneath its branches, watching the stars fight their way through the clouds. "Do you remember our wish?" Elias asked. "That we'd find each other again," she replied, resting her head on his shoulder. The willow swayed softly in the breeze, leaves whispering blessings into the night. Beneath it, two hearts beat quietly in unison, not as strangers, not as memories, but as a love that had waited patiently, like the sea, like the rain. The quiet morning, the morning after sunlight peeked through clouds. The storm had passed, leaving behind dew-kissed petals and the clean scent of new beginnings. Amara awoke to the scent of tea and the sound of humming. In the kitchen, Elias stood at the stove, just as he used to. They didn't need grand plans, just breakfast, shared smiles, and a day that felt like forever in the making. Outside, the rain had left puddles that reflected the sky. Inside, love bloomed anew always after the rain time moved on, but differently now, softer, slower. Their days were filled with small joys, walks along the beach, letters never needing to be sent, and nights spent by the fire, retelling their favorite memories. And when the rain returned, as it often did by the sea, they welcomed it, for it had brought them back to each other, for it had whispered to their hearts through distance and years. Now, as you listen to the rain outside your window, let your own heart feel this gentle warmth. Love doesn't rush. It returns quietly, patiently, just like the rain. Close your eyes. You are loved. You are safe. And now, sleep.